Hello, assalamu alaikum. This is Rakul Hassan, and today is 22nd September 2020. It's 9:04 a.m. I mean, it's good morning, but I can't see the sun yet because of cloud. It's a little bit cloudy outside here, so let's read some of this news from the editorial page of the Daily Star. It's Bangla editorial. Okay, so yep, let's go to this website. Hey, what is it? Okay, so let's choose an article first. Hillocks ravaged in Sylhet under the quiz of night. Okay, then saving project money, praiseworthy, and India's special permission. Irregularities. No, don't want to read those out. So torture, death, migrant worker, saving project, PM warns of second wave of in winter. So let's see what does our PM says. So here let's go. So here we are, and so we're done, and it's done. Okay, so first let's go to this. So the heading is PM warns of second wave in winter. You know what is its meaning? I mean, what does our PM mean? What does our PM refers to? She refers to the COVID-19. So we can't afford to make the same mistakes twice. Well, on Sunday, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina warned that the COVID-19 situation will likely deteriorate. Okay, let's say deteriorate. Okay, so deteriorate, অবনতি.
Deteriorate.
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 Deteriorate. Okay, deteriorate in the upcoming winter, and urged all involved to prepare for another outbreak in winter time. So experts around the world have predicted that winter will exacerbate. ওকে, মানে বর্ধিত করা বা হচ্ছে উস্কায় দেওয়া বা এরকম কিছু একটা করা। এক্সাসপারেট, আর এখানে বলছে exacerbate.
Exacerbate.
Exacerbate. Okay, so let's say exacerbate the spread of COVID-19, and there are widespread fears and evidence to support such fears that the second wave will be even worse than the first. Europe is already in the middle of a second wave as it moves into winter after having brought down the number of infections and deaths in the first wave, and daily case numbers in the EU have reached record high of more than 45,000 on a 14-day notification rate. According to the European Center for Disease Prevention and Control, ECDC, if these numbers are predictions say anything at all, is that there's no room for complacency or something like this. Let me see.
Complacency.
Complacency. Atmatripti. Room for complacency as we prepare for what promises to be a drawn out battle. Unfortunately, the government's response from the beginning of the pandemic has been one of denial at worst and complacency at best. Over the past months, we have relaxed most COVID-19 measures, um, including allowing transport to operate at full capacity. Despite the fact that our positivity rate remains well above the global average and that of our neighboring countries, including India and Pakistan. Or still, we have reduced the number of tests in the country and made them inaccessible to the masses by slapping a fee on them. Yes, this is a very big issue. That's why people are not encouraged to test for COVID-19. The COVID-19 testing expansion policy is still in its draft stages after months of negotiations between different departments of the health ministry. Meanwhile, there are talks of reopening schools in the immediate future amidst fear that implementing safety measures proposed by the Ministry of Primary and Mass Education will simply not be possible in a vast majority of educational institutions in the country. Less than a month ago, the health minister himself said that Bangladesh will be coronavirus free soon, very soon, and added that he didn't think we will even need vaccines. How funny. Comments such as this, coupled with contradicting measures from the government, have confused the public as well, who are no longer taking the precautions that they ought to, as they engage in social and economic activities and risk increasing the rate of community transmission. Well, under the circumstances, the Prime Minister's warning should be taken with the utmost seriousness by policymakers and the public. We need to revisit shortcomings of our healthcare system and prepare it for a second outbreak, checking corruption at every stage and learning from the past mistakes. We need to prepare now if we are not mitigate the repercussions. Let me see.
Repercussions.
Repercussions. Okay, reflex বা প্রতিবিম্ব টাইপের কিছু একটা repercussions. So we failed to take advantage of earlier warnings at the first time around. We cannot afford to do the same if a second wave comes. That's it for today. Thank you.